Thursday night. So I'm just going to show you what the prompts were and what came out. I'm not going to actually type this in, but so I took the article 9 tips for adapting to the Canadian workplace. Each tip was about a paragraph or two in the original article. It probably is at a CLB 7-8 level with how it's structured and set up. So in my prompt, you'll see that I said, yeah, thank you guys. Nice to meet you. Thanks for your questions. Appreciate that. So in my prompt, I said, please simplify this material to CLB 3-4 level, turn it into a lesson plan. And so I'm specific, like I want to prompt it in a way.
Is ChatGPT or Gemini or?
This one's ChatGPT. Honestly, I found Copilot a little bit easier. I haven't used Gemini a lot, but I saw somebody was using it on the weekend and they were saying that it actually can be better or more. So, but I'm clear. I want 3 or 4 reading exercises, writing exercise, and 4 speaking exercises. I'm not doing a listening here. I can show that at a later time. So then it spits out back to me. Hey, this is what I've created for you. But within 30 seconds, that's where it came up with lesson plan for 2 hours, vocabulary, writing, reading, what are the learning goals, and then some discussion. There's a teacher's handout.
And those are the 9 tips.
Yeah, so the 9 here, actually, let me see if I can find the original article. Yeah.
Oh, wow, very.
Exactly, yeah. So that's where, as I was saying, it's like a paragraph per tip. So ask questions, etc. Practice your communication skills. So you can see how that's simplified it quite a bit within that. Okay, so it's put it in quick, short words and phrases. And if some of you are interested, I'd encourage you to read can-do statements from CLB levels.
But I'll definitely make a list.
Right.
I'm gonna add a new section to the website.
Because with the levels I talked about, levels 1 to 9 or 1 to 8, there's a can-do section of what can they do in reading and writing and listening and speaking. And there's like a cheat sheet that's very short. Then there's also a 280-page document. I've had to teach the 280-page document to new teachers. So, but for most of us, just looking at, and so in our classrooms, if it's a 3-4 class, we'll have on the board CLB 3, reading, writing, listening, speaking. Here's 4 or 5 things you'll be able to do in the next 4 months. And anyway, so go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. So this then produced, and I didn't specify what kind of questions, I just said 3 or 4 reading exercises. So true, false. They came up with some matching information. And again, you can see it's fairly simple, straightforward, because they want to keep it at a 2-3 or a 3-4 level. Sometimes it's been thinking, but it had true, false, it had matching, and then there was a couple of short answer questions, which are usually very quick skim and scan, and then they had a word blank, so vocabulary, fill in the blank. So write a short message, 4 to 5 sentences. So that's one of the things at that level. You're not writing 2-3 paragraphs. It's just a few sentences in a paragraph format. What about your workplace? There's a interaction with speaking, small talk, and again, they give you some prompts. So all of this was done in 30 seconds. And then a short wrap up, gestures, and then some teaching tips for you. So I didn't ask it for that, but it's also providing some of that. And then it gives me options. So do I want a printable PDF, a PowerPoint, or if I have a mixed class, so this is where some of you are saying you got really high speakers, etc. It will then, so you could say, I want a 3-4 lesson, but give me another 4 questions because I have some students that finish quickly. So gone are the days of, 1 hour. Well, they're not gone because my wife and others are very, like my wife will spend 3 hours preparing for a 3-hour class. I'll spend 30 minutes preparing, not because I'm using this. My personality is more, okay, I got this and this. Okay, good. Let's go in and let's go through it. So it's more personality difference, but ChatGPT definitely helps to speed this up.
But you always have to double check it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Read through everything, make sure if there's any links. It's much better. if I look at a year and 2 years ago with the images and different things, but everything always has to be checked. Like you had pulled up and it said CLB, like it was talking about CLB 5, 6 classes. Well, those are now gone, but it was pulling it up from a website that it was,
not updated.
yeah,
Mhm.
within that. So,
Can I tell my story?
oh, please, this will be the time for you to share.
At our town hall at our church, they were going over these new bylaws. And there were a couple words in there that were not kind of like serving, like they had an attitude that was not the attitude members of the church wanted the board to portray. And so somebody challenged them on one of the words. It wasn't me. Somebody challenged them, like, why did you use that word? Oh, ChatGPT wrote it.
You're responsible for it.
You know, and
That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, so double check because, and I didn't put in here, but you can prompt it for tone or for other things as well. There's actually short training courses to help you identify what are 4 ways of making a good prompt. Let me just show you very quickly 2 addition things here. So I asked it to make a PowerPoint. It made me a downloaded PowerPoint. It's a very basic PowerPoint. No, I don't have it open there, but it just has words. There's no pictures. It's very, so it, oh no, that is the one. Sorry, because they were asking me and I was able to change the background. So it just has those questions and the different structures and stuff set in, but it took everything there and made it into, it was actually more like this, that was just white. And then I just added color, but you can add pics.
let's get to pictures. Would you ask it to add
So-
pictures now?
No, well, ChatGPT is limited in that. I would go into Canva or I would go into a different program. So that's ChatGPT 202. But what else? Just look at my next prompt. Can you, thank you. You always want to be polite. Yeah. So I always say thank you and please, but can you redo the lesson plan so it's relevant for newcomers in Vancouver? And this is what I also want to share with you. So in Winnipeg, I might have an exercise. It's a short reading exercise and it's kind of general and the students are finding questions. But then I would prompt it and say, make 2 more reading exercises using Canadian, Winnipeg-based businesses or Winnipeg names of streets or whatever. And now it will contextualize it to your area. So as I go through the same lesson, working in Vancouver, understanding workplace college in Vancouver, it's not much difference, but now they talk about the SkyTrain. You wouldn't see that it wasn't in the first lesson and you wouldn't see that in a lesson in Winnipeg. We don't have one. So it's taking elements of what's there. And again, in 30 seconds or a minute, helping make it more for that. So SkyTrain, be polite. So the same 9 steps, but now it says SkyTrain, it's added in a couple of other words. So it's not, hugely different, but there's pieces.
Like it has relevance just by having the context given, yeah.
And if I typed in and said, make me a lesson to understand resources at the Vancouver Public Library, again, it could pull up and yeah, so that's where this can become a great friend of just what you're prompting and then doing things. And I'll tell you this, but don't tell others. I always tell my students and people I'm with secrets. So I'm going to be preaching in June at a church. And I was given the passage. So I just threw it into ChatGPT because I was curious what would it do, and then I'm going to do what I would do. But it pulled up a lesson. I said, okay, this is great. Here's my audience. Can you make 4 or 5 or find 4 or 5 culturally relevant stories, 2 that are funny, 1 that's serious, 1 that has a reference from. So it pulled in a reference from King David and added that as a story. Like because the Bible and most other resources, theology books, all of that are accessible by this. And so yeah, the different ways that it can be used. That's one thing my son and I chatted about because he went with YWAM for a few years or year and a half, and he's looking at making a difference in the acting world of doing more things like The Chosen and Christian material rather than what's out in Hollywood. And we were chatting about this, can we utilize this and have it based for outreach and ministry and different things as a tool, not to replace, but as a tool. So I'll end off there. Appreciate the fact that you guys stayed till the end. But thank you. Question?
I would think Going to scrolling back, I wanted to write down like your first prompt, just so I
Yeah.
have an example of.
Yeah, absolutely. So mine, this actually was pretty general. I would probably recommend you write like a 2 to 3 sentence prompt. But
Okay, yes. But 2 to 3 sentence prompt is possible.
right, because then you would add tone and you would also add the Vancouver and, make it culturally relevant. And you could add your audience. In your class, if you know you have 4 Spanish speakers and 3 Ukrainian speakers and 2 Chinese speakers, give it that information because then it will, or say, give me examples because these are the people in my class. So the more, if you see prompts that are used in the business world, some of them are 2 paragraphs.
Wow.
But then you're getting, like, you're not having to revise them much. You're getting exactly what you want the first or second time. So yeah, use these as a tools and they become good friends. Yeah. Okay. There's more, there is tea, although some of you may not want more caffeine this time of night, but I think there's still. Okay, good. And then there's oranges, grapes, etc. So please help yourself. Chat with Janice or I, but thank you for coming tonight for this.
Thank you.